You've probably heard more than once that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, especially if you have diabetes. A diabetic diet needs a steady source of energy to keep the body going all day and keep blood sugar levels under control. But it can be hard to figure out what to eat, and many common breakfast foods are not good for people with diabetes. Plus, you need to remember that after a long night of fasting, your glucose levels are unsteady and sensitive when you wake up. So how can you keep your blood sugar under control with breakfast? And what should you stay away from at all costs? Watch the rest of this video to find out. Plus, find out the 5 best ways to start the day so you can get more tips on how to live a healthy and full life with diabetes. Now, let's talk about the 4 worst breakfast foods for people with diabetes: cereals made in a factory. Breakfast cereals made in a factory. Have you ever looked at what your food is made of? These have been pushed as a healthy meal choice for a long time. A lot of it, though, is just advertising. Many store-bought cereals are highly processed and have a lot of refined carbs, extra sugar, and nasty chemicals that aren't natural. And this is a big problem for people with diabetes. Not all grains are bad, but we'll talk more about that later. But let's talk about what to stay away from for now. When grains are refined, the top layer or bran is taken off. This bran has fiber in it, which slows down processing and makes it less likely that your blood sugar will spike. But when you eat a bowl of refined cereal, you fill your body with empty carbs, which can quickly cause your blood sugar to rise. You also miss out on many of the health benefits of whole grains. Also, many ready-to-eat foods have sugar and unhealthy saturated fat added to them, which can lead to insulin resistance, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes, so should you never eat cereal for breakfast. Whole grains. No, not always. Whole grains do have nutrients like iron, calcium, magnesium, and antioxidants that are good for you. And the fiber in them slows down digestion, which has less of an effect on blood sugar levels. In fact, whole grains may help avoid diabetes if they are part of a healthy diet. Over the course of 10 years, one study looked at what more than 75,000 people ate compared to people who ate refined grains. People who ate whole grains were 27% less likely to get diabetes. Another study found that eating whole grain cereal in moderation is linked to a lower chance of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. So if you do eat cereal in the morning, either make it yourself or read what it says. Choose something with whole grains and no extra sugar. The ADA says that each dish should have less than 5 grams of sugar and at least 3 grams of fiber. Here's another pro tip. Add a spoonful of yogurt and a few nuts to get more protein and keep your blood sugar from rising too quickly. But first, it's time to talk about the 3rd worst choice for breakfast. Protein bars might win for their ease of use. If you're running late, you can grab a protein bar, but you should be careful. Now, since many of them have a lot of nuts, you might think they are good for good fat, fiber, and protein, but if you look at how store-bought protein bars are made, you'll find that most of the time, the nuts and grains are processed. The fruits are just extracts. Most of them also have added sweeteners, which is a recipe for high blood sugar. In the same way that refined breakfast cereals aren't good for your health, most protein bars are processed foods that aren't good for your health or energy. But you may have seen something called diabetic snack bars. So wouldn't that mean that those are actually good for people with diabetes? In some cases, yes, but again, you should be careful. People who have trouble with low or high blood sugar can benefit from diabetic snack bars. But we're not talking about the kind of protein bar you can buy off the shelf. The ADA says that snack bars with resistant starch can help keep blood sugar from getting too high. Resistant starches help slow the rate at which glucose is absorbed into the blood, which prevents spikes. But these food bars are usually given along with a meal, not in place of it. On the other hand, a different kind of snack bar is used for diabetics with hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. UCS snack bars are eaten at night and they have slow-releasing carbs, protein, and fat, designed to cut down on the risk of low blood sugar while asleep. Hypoglycemia is especially dangerous because it can have an effect on the brain and is more likely to happen to people with type 1 diabetes. As you can see, diabetes snack bars are made for certain things. But unless your doctor tells you to take them, It's much better to get your nutrition from real food. Real food also tastes much better. Sausage, bacon, and other kinds of meat. Meats like sausage, bacon, and other people often eat sausage, bacon, or ham for you. Might also think that the protein in this food is good for you, but it also has a lot of fat, even though meat doesn't add more carbs to your food. It's not the best choice for people with diabetes. Especially sausage and bacon are high in saturated fat, which is known to raise cholesterol levels, make diabetes worse. Now, diabetes is linked to another major health issue, heart disease. There have been a lot of different ideas about meat over the years, but in 2020, the ADA released a huge review of all the studies that have been done, putting together information from 6 large studies that looked at 30,000 people over many years. People who ate 2 or more meals of red meat per week were 4 to 7% more likely to get heart disease or a stroke. Those who ate more than 2 cups a week were more likely to get sick. Fish, however, did not follow the trend, so should you cut down on how much red meat you eat? Yes, especially in the morning. Don't forget that your body and blood sugar are especially sensitive in the morning, and it's not the best idea to eat a lot of fatty foods. If you do decide to eat red meat once in a while, think about the following. Choose lean cuts to cut down on excess fat. Eat less. Serve it with salad, veggies, tomatoes, or your favorite foods that are good for people with diabetes. Fruit juice might seem like a tasty and healthy way to start the day. After all, fruits already have a lot of nutrients, vitamins, and fiber, so it's easy to think that fruits are good for you no matter how they look. Well, you're wrong. Because vegetables have fiber, when you eat them in their whole form, your body breaks them down slowly. But when vegetables are juiced, the fiber is taken out, leaving a sugar hit that comes on quickly. When that extra glucose gets into the blood, it can cause diabetes. In fact, a 2013 study found that drinking just 3 juices a week increased the chance of developing diabetes by 8%. So if you want to keep your blood sugar level in check, don't drink fresh juice for breakfast. So, now that we know what meals to stay away from, what are the best choices? Now let's talk about 5 great breakfast choices for people with diabetes. Smoothies. A low-carb smoothie can be a good choice if you tend to skip breakfast, unlike fresh juices, which only contain vegetables. A low-carb smoothie can include protein from yogurt or plant powder added to the drink. Nuts. Seeds and avocados are healthy sources of fat. Berries and leafy greens are good sources of fiber. No matter what you choose, don't make a drink with only fruit, and try to eat low glycemic index foods, as this make it take longer for carbs to be turned into glucose. A study of 75 women on a low glycemic diet was reported in the Nutrition Journal in 2013. After 6 months, they saw that the blood sugar levels in the morning were generally more stable, so even the blood glucose levels are especially sensitive after a night of not eating. This shows that a breakfast with a low glycemic index can help keep glucose levels more in balance. So, enjoy that drink. But keep in mind that not all smoothies are the same, and you have to watch what goes into your morning drink. Eggs are a tasty and healthy breakfast option for people with diabetes. No matter how they are cooked, scrambled, boiled, or fried, eggs have a lot of protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and nutrients like choline and biotin. These parts help keep blood sugar under control for a long time. And after watching 65 people with type 2 diabetes, a study from Cambridge University showed that eating 2 eggs every day could cut fasting blood sugar by a lot. But eggs have been talked about too. The kind of eggs you buy, how you cook them, and what you eat with can all affect your insulin resistance and cholesterol. So you should be careful about how you eat eggs. If you choose the most organic choice or eat a boiled egg with avocado on the side, you can have a very healthy and good for your blood sugar breakfast. And since we're talking about avocados, here's another great breakfast. Avocado toast. If you like breakfast that are salty and filling, try avocado toast. Then you'll be glad to know that diabetics can eat avocado on toast. That is, if you eat your avocado with toast made with a lot of different grains. Multi-grain bread is full of fiber, while bananas are full of healthy fat. By putting them together, you get a healthy and blood-balancing breakfast. Most of the fat in avocados is monounsaturated, which is known to lower bad LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure in general. A study released in the JACC of Nutrition found that replacing carbs with monounsaturated fatty acid foods like avocados in the morning can help control insulin and blood sugar levels over time. Also, multigrain toast has a lot of different nutrients and fiber, which means that glucose in the bloodstream is absorbed more slowly and digestion is better. So don't be afraid of good old avocado toast. It's a great way to stay healthy and full for hours. Oatmeal, okay. If you're picturing a bowl of quick oats with milk and sugar added, sorry, but that's not what this post is about. But there is a way for people with diabetes to enjoy their favorite breakfast. In fact, if you eat oatmeal in a certain way, it can help you handle your fasting blood sugar very well. Oats are a whole grain that doesn't have gluten. They have a lot of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, so you can get all of these important nutrients when you eat rolled or steel-cut oats. In 2008, researchers looked at how the blood sugar level changed before and after breakfast. Some of the people got a breakfast with a lot of carbs, while others got oats. The results showed that the people who ate oats had a much more balanced reaction to blood glucose. But oats are never eaten on their own, so how can you make sure your blood sugar stays in check? Experts suggest eating oatmeal with nuts or seeds, which have good fats and protein. Spices like cinnamon help with digestion. Berries to add taste and protect against damage to cells. Now, we'll talk about the best breakfast for diabetics, which is it's another great food you can eat on its own or add to oatmeal. Chia seeds. We've seen that a good chia seed breakfast for people with diabetes should have a lot of fiber, healthy fat, and protein. So we couldn't finish this list without chia seeds, which have all three of these things. Chia seeds are a good breakfast food for people with high blood sugar, and chia puddings are a popular way to eat them. Chia pudding can be made with a few tablespoons of chia seeds, a cup of unsweetened plant milk or water, any natural flavors you want like berries, spices, cocoa powder, coconut, or fruit. When chia seeds are soaked, they grow into a sticky mass that has a lot of soluble proteins and omega-3 fatty acid. Several studies on animals have shown that these components cut down on insulin resistance and make it easier to control blood sugar. Further, clinical tests on adults showed the same results and also found that chia seeds help keep blood sugar levels from getting too high after a meal. So it's safe to say that eating chia seeds for breakfast is a great way to give your body what it needs and keep your blood sugar in check, especially after a night of fasting and rest. So remember to pick meals that are full of fiber, good fat, and protein, and stay away from foods with a lot of sugar and saturated fat. And that's the end of it. So that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.